everyone's joining, and today I'm going to be talking about the books to read at the beach. So it's definitely summertime, and it's time to go back to beach, and I know many people read at a beach. I don't live near a beach, so I don't get a chance to read at a beach, but I do read outside sometimes, and whenever it's nice out, and I have some books here that I would like to recommend you all a book to read at a beach. So let's get to my book recommendations. So the first book that I'm recommending to you guys is The School of Good and Evil by Saman Shinani. This is about two girls who are best friends. One's good and one's evil, and then they end up going to school for good and evil, and they end up switching places. For one castle is for good heroes and good characters, while the other is for the evil side. And I think this would be a perfect read at a beach, just because escaping to a fantasy world, I think it will be perfect for that, even though I think any book is a beach read, honestly. And yeah, and I think that's and also it's middle grade, so if you end up reading in one sitting, that would be amazing. And the next book that I'm going to recommend to you guys is Murder, She Knit by Peggy Earhart. This is about a woman who's starting a knitting club after her daughter left for college, and then the new member of the knitting club end up getting murdered, so she ends up trying to find out who murdered the new member of the knitting club. So I think, like I said, I think any book is a perfect beach read, but I think reading a mystery would be awesome to read at a beach, just because, like, with every twist and turns, you want to find out what happens next and all that. So yeah, I think this will be a perfect beach read for anybody who loves to read mystery. So the next book that I'm recommending to you guys is Message in a Bottle by Nicholas Sparks. This is about a woman who was jogging at a beach. the cover has the beach, but and she ends up finding this bottle that has a message in it, and then she searches for the writer of the letters, and the whole story goes from there. And of course, I wouldn't go to a beach without reading anything romantic, so I thought this would be a perfect beach read. I think any Nicholas Sparks books are perfect for a beach read, honestly, but I mean, if you're in the mood for reading any romance, I think this book will definitely be a perfect read for that. So the next book that I'm recommending to you guys is Once and Future by Amy Rose Competa and Corey McCarthy. This is a King Arthur retelling that in a sci-fi world where you follow different incarnations of King Arthur and how they try to complete this mission, and then they end up failing. So Merlin ends up meeting Ari, who is King Arthur in this case, and then finds out that she might be the chosen one. So I definitely really enjoy this book, and I think it's a really good read, and especially like if you're in a mood for sci-fi, this would be a perfect book for that, and a retelling of a classic. I think that's an also perfect read for that as well. So the next book that I picked for this, and I haven't talked about this book in my channel for a while, but it's Bloodleaf by Crystal Smith. This is about a princess who comes from a royal family, but they're witches, so she didn't want to be part of their family anymore, so she just runs away and disguises herself as a commoner. And that's the premise of this story. I really enjoy this book, and I definitely want to rate the sequel, and I really hate the cover change, but I think people should give this a try. Even if you like witchy books, I definitely recommend that. And apparently it's a Goose Girl retelling as well, and I didn't get that when I first read this, but I definitely think it's a really awesome fantasy world to escape to. And the next book that I'm recommending to you guys is Frozen Beauty by Lexa Highlighter. This is a mystery book about three sisters. One of them ends up getting murdered, and the two sisters try to find out what happened to their sister, and the boy next door ends up getting the blame, and they're trying to prove that he was innocent. And I really enjoy this book, and it's another YA mystery that I really enjoyed, and I think it's very underrated because I haven't heard many people talk about it on BookTube. So if you're looking for another mystery book to read at a beach, this is the one I recommend just because not many people other than me talk about this book on my on BookTube. The next book that I'm recommending to you guys is A Whole New World by Liz Braswell. This is a Aladdin retelling about what if Aladdin never found a lamp, but Jafar did instead, and that's all I wanted to tell you guys just because I think that's a really best synopsis, especially if you're a fan of Disney and you just want to know, just based on the tagline at the top with Aladdin never found the map. And I really enjoy this, and if you like miss Disney and you just want to read something that relates to Disney on a beach, I definitely recommend this. And there's other Disney Twisted Tales series that I haven't read yet, and I know there's one of Peter Pan which I'm excited to pick up, and same as Beauty and the Beast. And you don't have to read these in particular order because they're told by different Disney movies, if you know what I mean. But I think this will be a good story if it's one of your favorite, if Aladdin's one of your favorite Disney movies and you want to read a Twisted Tales about that. I definitely recommend this book. And the next book that I'm recommending to you guys is Your Welcome Universe by Whitney Gardner. This is about a deaf girl who ends up getting kicked out of deaf school because she created graffiti and moves to a public hearing school. And that's the synopsis I can give you. And I really enjoy this book. This was a really quick read from what I remember, just because I really like the characters and how they interact with each other, and how a perspective you probably wouldn't expect before. I'm happy that I've read a book about deaf main character because I never read a book about anybody deaf before, and I just think it's a really good representation. Like they tell you, now of course there's a lot of sign language in here because the main character is deaf, and I really like that just because I want to learn sign language. And I just think reading a contemporary that's a very quick read will be awesome to read in one sitting at the beach. And the next book that I want to recommend to you guys is By Your Side by Casey West, which is about a girl and a boy who gets locked up in a library for the weekend, and that's all I want to give you guys. This is one of my favorite books, and I haven't read this in a while, and I definitely want to reread it soon just because I enjoyed it so much, and I know I want to read more Casey West books, and I think this would be an awesome quick read to read at the beach, especially when you're like want to know what happens to these two characters, especially when they got locked up in the library. I mean, who wouldn't want to get locked up in the library? So yeah, I think this is a definitely good read to read at a beach, especially like if you want to quick read. Definitely pick this one up. And the last book that I'm recommending to you guys to read at the beach is This Time Next Year by Sophie Cousins. This is about two people who were newborn babies, and then they grew up as enemies, and then they end up meeting each other one day. And I really enjoy this book. I definitely really do recommend this to a lot of people who just want to read a enemies to lovers book, or like claim to be enemies to lovers from this one, because I'm like, how would they know that they grown up as an enemy when there's only the moms that say that they're enemies? But I definitely really enjoy this book. I love all the characters in here, and it was a good read. I think this would be perfect on a beach, even though it takes place on New Year's. If you're at beach doing New Year's Day, I think you should definitely pick up this book. So that is all for the books that you should read at the beach. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up and comment down below what book that you would read at a beach. And if you haven't already, click the subscribe button and click the bell icon so you'll be notified whenever I post new videos. Also, you can follow me on social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Goodreads, which all links will be down below for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!